So I think anytime you as a coach, when you think about bringing anybody aboard or as a leader within any organization, is you think about sort of casting what that teammate that comes into the organization, what that looks like. It first, they have to be a cultural fit. Second, they have to, exhibit the values that you believe you have. And some people are really good at articulating them. Some people just know it by gut instinct. And I think that's where Coach Haskins was. So by bringing in the additional pieces of Quincy Lewis, Bobby Jackson, Charles Thomas, these were all complementary pieces to what we had already had. And, the Courtney James who came in, at some point, and Sam, who was a staple, Sam Jacobson, who was a staple within our team, he saw that these pieces that he brought together were complementary. And the thing, as you were talking previously, what really came to mind was identification of role and what it means for us when a coach lines us up on the baseline, when we start to smell ourselves and think that we're the best thing since sliced bread because we're moving up the ranking charts. And it was always a level setting moment where, he's lining us up on the baseline and telling us about ourselves. What was our market, right? Our audience? What was the person who was in command? What did he think in case we thought we were moving in a different direction around our role? So I knew that I wasn't the type of person, although big men always think they can shoot threes and guards always want to be in the post. He made it clear that, son, you're not allowed to shoot at this stage. Now, I could argue that, in some capacity was limiting because it's like, it's a basketball play, should I make it? But it at least allowed him to identify with what he wanted. And we all fit into that role. So when we're out of line, out of pocket, he was like, wait a second, hold up, let's stop practice. And he'd line up and say, son, you have no chance to play at this level. Son, you might work a night. I mean, it was hard, but it was true. And so that role identification, I think, ultimately coupled with the key acquisitions that we made to get some of those players in to solidify our core, then they just enveloped into the culture. That's what, and then we got a chance to learn each other and we knew our tendencies. And again, the more we hung out, that proximity that was created through spending time with each other is how we were able to discern the type of relationships that we had, and we held each other accountable, right? Like I remember coach would say, in this, whether it's head coach, assistant coach, touch every line. And as a team captain, by the time I was, I think a junior, I was a captain and I was a co-captain. Then again, my senior year, like the coaches shouldn't have to tell you what to do. I mean, they're positioning you, but it's up to us to hold each other accountable. So when we weren't touching lines, if we had to run suicides, I would stop and no, we're doing this again. And people would get mad. And if I can't trust you in practice, I can't trust you in the game. So those little nuanced details of how this team came together was how I believe we were able to create that success.